Okay, so you're ready to hire an Apache Tomcat developer.
Uh-huh.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Okay.
Tomcat is how a lot of the web apps you use every day actually work.
Right.
It's like the engine behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And to build a really great web app, you need to find a really great developer.
Definitely.
This deep dive is going to equip you with the knowledge to make the perfect hire.
Sounds good.
But before we dive into all that, I want to encourage you to head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out the 5 questions.
The 5 questions.
It'll give you a head start
in
figuring out exactly what you need from your Tomcat expert.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm joined by a true expert in the world of developers.
Thank you.
And they've got a ton of incredible knowledge to share.
Awesome.
Based on all the insights that they've gathered from their work with theperfectdeveloper.com. So let's get started. When you talk to people who want to hire Apache Tomcat developers, what are some of the most common questions that you hear?
Well, you know, one of the first things people always want to know is, what exactly does a Tomcat developer do?
Right.
It seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But there's actually a lot more to it than just knowing Java.
Okay.
These developers, they're specialists in making sure web applications run without a hitch on a Tomcat server.
Gotcha.
That's really their main focus.
So they're like the mechanics who keep the applications running smoothly.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Like under the hood, making sure everything is working right.
Exactly. They handle stuff like server configuration, making sure all the settings are just right.
Yeah.
They deploy the applications. And really importantly, they're the ones fine-tuning performance to make sure everything is running as efficiently as possible.
I've definitely been on some websites that load really, really slow.
Ugh. I hate that.
I bet that's where a good Tomcat developer would come in handy.
Oh, absolutely.
To make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. A skilled Tomcat developer can be the difference between a website that loads in a snap and one that makes people click away out of frustration.
For sure.
And, you know, that's really where their specialized skills set them apart from general Java developers.
Interesting. So what are those key differences?
Okay.
Don't all Java developers have the skills to work with Tomcat?
Well, not really. It's kind of like this.
Okay.
All chefs know how to use a knife, but only a sushi chef has the specialized training to create those beautiful rolls.
Right.
So Tomcat developers are definitely proficient in Java, but also have this deep understanding of server-side technologies that are really specific to web applications. Things like servlets and JSPs.
Servlets and JSPs.
Yeah.
What are those?
Servlets and JSPs are basically the building blocks of a web application that runs on Tomcat.
Okay.
They determine how the server interacts with users and delivers the right information every time.
Okay, so it's not just about knowing Java.
Right.
It's about understanding these specific tools and techniques for actually building those web applications.
Exactly. It's a specialized skill set.
So if you're looking to hire a Tomcat developer, what are some of those must-have skills?
Okay, well, first and foremost, you absolutely need someone with a strong foundation in Java. That's like the bedrock.
Okay.
But beyond that, you want somebody with practical experience in configuring and managing Tomcat servers.
Okay.
They really need to know all the ins and outs of setting up the server environment.
So it's like understanding the blueprint of a house.
Yes.
Before you start decorating.
Yeah, exactly. You need that foundation.
Right.
And then, of course, they need to be proficient with those servlets and JSPs we talked about.
Or building blocks.
Yes, exactly. Those are the tools that determine how the whole web application functions. So Java expertise, Tomcat configuration, servlet JSP development.
Okay, Wales.
Well, don't forget about database integration.
Oh, right.
Most web apps, they need a database to store all that data.
Right.
So your developer needs to know how to connect the application to the database seamlessly.
Makes sense. You can't have a website without data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's performance tuning, which we touched upon earlier.
Right.
A slow website can really hurt your business. So optimizing that performance is crucial.
So Java expertise, Tomcat configuration, servlet and JSP development, database integration, performance tuning.
Right.
And I can't imagine we're talking about web applications without talking about security.
Oh, absolutely.
That has to be a big factor.
It's huge. You need a developer who knows how to keep the application and the server safe from any cyber attacks.
That is definitely a huge concern these days.
It is.
You need someone who's up on the latest security best practices.
For sure. You need someone who really understands the vulnerabilities and knows how to mitigate them.
So we've got Java expertise, Tomcat configuration, servlet, and JSP development, database integration, performance tuning, and security. Is there anything else?
One more really essential ingredient. Problem-solving skills.
Of course.
Things are bound to go wrong at some point.
Right.
So you really need somebody who can think critically, identify what that issue is, and come up with a solution quickly.
Right, because when a website goes down, every minute counts.
Exactly.
Speaking of things that count, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Cost.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of salary are we talking about here?
Yeah, so that's where things get a little less straightforward. Tomcat developer salaries can be all over the map depending on experience, location, and other factors.
Okay, so break it down for us.
Yeah.
What are the key factors influencing salary?
So experience is definitely a big one. Right. A junior developer just starting out.
Yeah.
They're going to earn a lower salary than a senior developer with years of experience and a proven track record.
Yeah, experience is valuable.
Absolutely. We're talking a difference of tens of thousands of dollars.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So what else affects the salary range?
Well, location is a huge factor. Salaries tend to be much higher in tech hubs like Silicon Valley, where competition is fierce and the cost of living is sky high.
So Silicon Valley is like the rodeo drive of developer salaries.
Exactly. High demand, limited supply, premium price tag.
Gotcha. So give me a ballpark.
Okay. So in the U.S., you might see junior developers starting around $70,000. While senior developers can easily earn over $160,000.
Wow. That's quite a difference.
It is. And it can even go higher than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we've talked about experience. We've talked about location.
Yeah.
Does the hiring model also play a role?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because, I mean, there's full-time, part-time, in-house outsourcing.
Yeah, there are so many options.
So many options.
Yeah.
How do you even choose?
Well, each model has its pros and cons. And the best choice for you really depends on your specific needs and your budget.
All right, so let's break it down. What are the key considerations for each model?
So let's start with full-time. This is the gold standard. If you need a Tomcat developer for the long haul. You want someone who's really going to be part of your team. You get their dedicated time and their expertise. Which can be invaluable, but it does come at a higher cost. You're responsible for their salary, their benefits, taxes, all that.
So full-time is like buying a house. It's a commitment, but it offers stability and that long-term value.
Right.
What about part-time?
Part-time is more like renting. It's cost-effective. It's flexible. Especially good for smaller projects. Or if you just need someone for a few specific tasks.
Gotcha.
You get the expertise without the long-term commitment.
So it's a good option if the project's more of a sprint than a marathon.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, cool. What about in-house versus outsourcing?
Okay, so in-house gives you the most control. You handpick the developer. They become part of your company culture. And you get that easy face-to-face collaboration. But this tends to be the most expensive option because of all the overhead.
Office space, equipment licenses, you name it.
Okay, so in-house is like having a bespoke suit. It's tailored just for you. It's the perfect fit, but it comes with a premium price tag.
It does. What about outsourcing?
Outsourcing can be great for getting specialized talent and potentially saving some money. It's really useful for those short-term projects or when you need a very specific skill set. The downside is you might run into communication challenges, time zone differences, and the complexities of managing a remote team.
So outsourcing is more like buying off the rack. It can be cost effective.
It can.
But you might need to make a few adjustments to get that perfect fit.
Exactly. And that's where a platform like theperfectdeveloper.com can really help you out.
How so?
They vet the developers. They really understand their expertise, and they can help you find that perfect match for your project. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so another question.
Yeah.
Local versus overseas talent.
Okay.
What are the considerations there?
So local hiring is great for communication and collaboration. You can easily meet up in person, build those relationships, and you don't have to worry about time zones.
Makes sense. What's the downside?
Well, local talent often comes with a higher price tag because of local salary expectations and competition.
So local hiring is like shopping at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Fresh, convenient.
Right.
But you pay a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about overseas?
Yeah. What about overseas?
Overseas hiring can be significantly more cost-effective.
Yeah.
There are so many talented developers in countries where the cost of living is lower.
Right. So overseas hiring is like buying in bulk.
Yeah.
You get more for your money.
You do.
Are there any drawbacks there?
The biggest challenges are potential communication barriers, cultural differences, and those time zone differences we talked about.
Right.
It takes more effort to manage a team across continents.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So finding the right balance between cost expertise and communication is key.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
And that's where a platform like theperfectdeveloper.com can be really helpful.
They have a global network of developers, and they can help you navigate those complexities and find the perfect candidate, whether they're local or on the other side of the world.
So they're like matchmakers for the developer world.
Exactly. They take out the guesswork and connect you with the talent you need.
Awesome. All right, so we've covered the skills. We talked about the salary range and the different hiring models.
Yep.
How do you actually go about finding these Tomcat developers and vetting them?
It's all about having a strategy.
Okay.
You don't want to just post a job ad and cross your fingers.
Yeah. No, you need a system.
Exactly. You need a way to find the right developers.
Yeah, to cut through all the noise.
Yes.
And find the people that really align with what you're looking for.
That's what it's all about.
So it's not just finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
It's about knowing what kind of needle you even need in the first place.
And, a platform like theperfectdeveloper.com can be a real game changer here.
Okay. In what way?
They have this really unique approach based on the 5 questions.
Okay, we've mentioned the 5 questions a couple of times.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, so it's all about helping you figure out exactly what you need from a Tomcat developer. It's like a self-assessment before you even start looking at resumes.
So it's helping you figure out what you're actually looking for.
Exactly. It forces you to think critically about your project requirements, your team dynamics, even your company culture.
So you can really build that ideal developer profile.
Exactly. And then their system takes all your answers and matches you with developers in their network.
So it's kind of like a dating app?
Yeah.
But for developers.
That's a great way to think about it.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding the right match.
It is. And it's not just a boring list of skills and experience.
Right.
Theperfectdeveloper.com actually takes the time to get to know each developer.
Yeah.
Their personality, their work style, their communication preferences.
So you get a real sense of who they are as a person, not just what they're capable of doing.
It's important to find someone who meshes well with your team.
That makes a huge difference.
It does. And you can see if somebody's a team player or if they prefer to work solo, if they like to plan everything out meticulously or if they're more spontaneous.
Okay.
You get insights that you wouldn't find on a resume.
This is awesome.
It's really helpful.
Okay, so just walk me through the whole process. I go to theperfectdeveloper.com. I answer the 5 questions.
Right.
And then what?
Then their system takes over.
Right.
Matches you with potential developers. Yeah. You can browse profiles, read reviews, even schedule interviews.
All through the platform.
All in one place.
That's really cool. So it streamlines that whole hiring process.
It does. It takes out a lot of the headache.
And the guesswork.
Exactly. And you know what? It's completely free to try.
Really?
You can answer those questions. See who you match with. No strings attached.
All right. So what are you waiting for? If you're ready to find your perfect Tomcat developer, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try the 5 questions now.
It's the easiest way to find the developer who's going to make your web app a reality.
And one final thought before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Don't limit your search to just local talent.
Right.
think about the possibilities of remote work.
Yeah.
You might find the perfect person on the other side of the world.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining me today.
It was my pleasure.